Good day, everybody. Welcome back to the flight deck. We're back in Japan, flying out of Izumo, and we're heading down to Tokushima. I think that's how you pronounce it. Let me just look that up. Oh, sorry, Tokushima, down on the Pacific coast. So it's going to be about a flight of roughly an hour, and the weather should be pretty decent. Chance of a little bit of rain en route, but we'll see if that's moved off as we head in and fly across. Let's hop on board and start getting the aircraft ready to go. And once again, we are in the ATR72-600. Alright, so cockpit preparation is all down. Gear lever is... not sure what that clicking is. Gear lever is confirmed down. Parking brake is set on. And we'll come up top and we can go with the batteries to the on position. And external power is now connected. We'll get the dome light on as well. And we'll throw on the nav lights. Yeah, here's some weird clicking there. Not sure what's going on there. We'll get the cargo door open and we can request our boarding. Waffle Man, or Alright, how you doing? Hope everything is well. I'm not sure what that clicking is. Interesting. Anyway. Nav lights are on. We'll get up for the warning systems. No cruise out here. So let's pop up top. And we can get the warning systems done. There is squib test, fault and fire for engine 1. Squid, or squib, fault and fire for engine number 2. So that is done. We can calm down. Not too bad, not too bad. Just doing some testing on aircraft and getting a new addition to the fleet ready to make its appearance next week. So learning it. So it's been a little bit of busy flying. So we've got the brake is on. And we'll get the hydraulic pump up so we can get the prop brake on. There we go. Prop brake is now on. No smoking signs or no devices, seat belts, and emergency exits are armed. Windshield anti-ice will come on. And down to the FMC we go. Alright. So our data here is good. We can come over here, position initialization. We'll grab the GPS. That is good. Nav data is good as well. So we're up on VATSIM, but as per usual here in Japan, it is early in the morning, and there is not a lot going on aircraft-wise, so we're probably not going to get ATC, but as per usual on these flights, we are up and running. Alright, so now that is done, we can come over to our flight plan and go into our route. And today's route, we are flying from Romeo, Juliet, Oscar, Charlie, and we're heading to Romeo, Juliet, Oscar, Sierra. Execute that. There we go. And we can now do our detailed plans. Hey, Kevin, how you doing? Let's pop into the flight plan. Alright, we are departing off of runway 25. Let me grab the winds here in Izumo. There you go. Winds are currently 300 at 15. 10 miles of visibility. It says light rain showers. There was clouds to the east that they've already moved through. Few clouds, 3,000, scattered at 4, broken at 6, 9 degrees, and QNH 1012. Not doing too bad. Just interested in that testing. Like I mentioned, I'm going to run it again just to see what the numbers are if I make that adjustment. Alright, let's get it set. 1016 now. There we go, and that is set and cross-checked, so we'll pop back down. So we're going to be going off of runway 25, and we are taking the Matsu 2 departure, and we transition at Suno. There's our departure, and over to Suno. We're now going to go into Romeo Juliet Oscar Sierra, and we are going to be landing there. If we look at the current weather there, we just update in case there has been one. It is 311, so pretty much the same. So we're going to be landing on the Isla Zulu runway 29er. That's 29er Zulu, and we are going to be not doing a star. The Tosar star is to the south, so we're going to do none, and we will hit enter, and that should take us out to CF29. That is good. We'll clear the disco out, and there we go. If we look at our altitudes, CF29, that is fine. 2,000 feet is good. And okay, right. I'll make that change in the config, and then I'll redo the 1 hour fuel burn at normal setting. I think I left it in high, which would obviously give us a out of whack reading. Alright, so that's our route done. We don't need to do our clearance. We are good there. There's passengers and bags coming on board. It is nice and quiet out there. I don't know why I'm not getting sound through GSX today. I got a weird... Oh, it stopped. Oh, there it is. I got that weird clicking, like there's a switch being clicked on my mouse. Let me just check that quickly. See if something accidentally got turned on. That's access. I don't want access. Yeah, no, nothing there. So I don't know what's causing that. Anyway, altimeters are now set. We can come up here and we'll do the logo light and the wing lights, just so they know we're going to do the hotel start. We're just waiting for everyone to get off the bus now. So while we wait for that, let's take a look at our route today. We're kind of heading back to where we were, but instead of going into Osaka, we're across the bay. Alright, here's the route map. We're going to be departing to the west, out to Izumo, then we're going to make the turn around, come back up over the top, overfly that airport we flew past on the way in. There's that rain that was... we were looking at earlier. We're going to fly back over here to Suno, and then we're going to turn south down over to the water. Oops. And come in for the capture for the ILS and around, and then landing here in Tokushima. So that is today's flight. And we're looking at a flight time of 38 minutes, and we have 60 passengers on board for this very early flight this morning. Alright, so now we gotta wait for the bags, and then we will be good to carry on.
We're ready to go when you are.
Sorry about that. So everybody's loaded in the back.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard. This is your flight attendant speaking. At this time, please be sure to make sure all large carry-on items are in the overhead bins and your small items are underneath the seat in front of you. If you have any trouble or need any assistance, please don't hesitate to let a flight attendant know and he would be happy to help you. If the overhead bin is full after you put your carry-on inside of it, please close the bin as a courtesy to other passengers. Once all your items are put away, please clear the aisle and sit down in your seat to allow other passengers to find their seats as well. If you are seated in an emergency exit row, please read the exit seating responsibilities in the safety card in the seat back in front of you. Please make sure you are willing and able to perform the actions required. If you are not able or prefer not to perform these actions, please let a flight attendant know so you can be reseated. Now's the time to get out any last-minute text messages if you need to, but we ask that once we depart from the gate, you put away any laptops or tablets. Thank you, and welcome aboard.
All right, well, it looks like the bags have arrived. I'm going to start loading them on board, just taking a look at
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome aboard Flight
some of the
5556.
information here.
Our flight time will be roughly 38 minutes. Now that the cabin door is closed, please make sure that all devices are in airplane mode and your large devices are now
We can
shut
close
down
the cabin
and
door now.
Please fasten your seatbelt and make sure that all tray tables and seat backs are in a full upright and locked position for
We
departure.
got the parking
Cabin
brake
crew,
set, so we'll
prepare
get the wheel
doors for departure,
chocks off
cross-check,
as well.
verify straps, and stand by for all call.
They're doing their baggage in the back. And you can see our departure route is in there. We can go through, do a couple other little things here. We'll get our radio frequencies in. That's radio 1, or radio 2. Since it is a short flight, we'll do the landing information as well. Get that in and set up. So we'll go over to nav. The ILS frequency for our landing is going to be 114, or sorry, that's the VOR. It's 108.9. Let's go there. 108.9, and we'll make sure that is on. We're also going to tune in the Tokushima VOR 114.9. That's 1149 is now entered in. So that's the two VORs. We can turn them on. So we have both of them showing over here. Come down. We're not worried about ADFs. I'm going to run weather on my side, and today we're going to run terrain over here on Rogers, just so that it is showing there, because we are expecting a little bit of weather, so we'll see if we get anything coming in. So TCAS above are fine, and we're not running synthetic vision, and transponder today will be 2000. That is set, and we are on standby there. There we go. And we're all looking good. Again, not sure what that clicking is. We'll see if it does it after I do a reboot once we're done the flight. No sounds today from GSX. I'll have to check and see if there's an update. Looks like we got a few bags to go as I continue loading the aircraft. So for this weekend, we are flying tomorrow. It is the final flight of the Around the Atlantic series. We will be heading from Luandu in Angola down to Cape Town, South Africa. Should be a good flight, and that will wrap up that series. And then on Saturdays we will continue on with our tour of Canada, so that will now be on Tuesdays and Saturdays as we run through that series. And as right now we are flying Mondays and Fridays here in Japan. Wednesdays is going to remain as the U.S. Capitals tour. Unfortunately, the DC-3 we were flying has had a technical issue and gone down, so we will be subbing that aircraft out with something a little bit newer, although still a vintage aircraft. And it will be making its debut on Wednesday for the next leg of the U.S. Capitals tour. So it should be very interesting there. All right. We're pretty much just waiting for them to finish, and then we'll be in a position where we can call for pushback. Actually, I don't think we need to call for pushback. If we take a look at where we're parked, yeah, we can just spin out from here. Yeah, we'll do a stand start, and then we'll just wheel around and head out. We're going to have to backtrack down on the runway for departure for runway 25, but that's fine. It should be pretty good. And that's going to be, we're going to backtrack down this way. Here's the bay we came in over. And then we'll be heading out. Hopefully we'll get a little bit of sunrise on the horizon this morning as we land in Tokushima. Alright, now that that's done, we can bring up our engines for our start. And I think that's the last bag coming in. So it is. So off they go. He's going to come grab the, what do you call it? The belt loader, I guess. Going to run over his partner, bang off the aircraft a couple times, and head out. We'll get that door closed. And we are on ground power. We're good to do our hotel start. So pop brake is on. We'll get the beacon lights on. And we can call for push. Oh, here he is coming in from the other side. Let them hook up. Unfortunately, even doing a hotel start. Actually, we're not going to do a hotel start. Let me cancel the push. That's right. It's important to push back. We're going to do a proper start here. Just make sure everything is disconnected. That looks fine. I forgot we were going to do a start and push off. So we're going to turn the fuel pumps on for both engines. We're going to crank around. So before start, power management is set to take off. Flight directors are on both sides. Radios are set. Trim 1.1 in trim. Trim 1.1 is set. Signs are on. Fuel usage resets. Probes and de-ice. We'll get all our probes on. Probes are up and running. So we are good for engine start. Alright, so pumps are on. Starter set over to 2. We are going to start up engine number 2. There we go. We'll bring the condition lever up to FTR. Oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the front of the aircraft for a safety demonstration. When the seatbelt light is on, please make sure that your seatbelt is fastened low and tight across your lap. To fasten, insert the metal fittings into one another. Tighten by pulling on the loose end of the strap. To release your seatbelt, lift the upper portion of the buckle. In the event that the seatbelt light is not on, we suggest that you keep your seatbelt fastened in case of unexpected turbulence. There are several emergency exits on this aircraft.
So my control set
Please
for the
take a
new
few moments
aircraft.
now to locate your
Don't
nearest
want that.
exit. In some cases, your nearest exit
All right, we are good there. We'll give a couple pumps on the hydraulic auxiliary pump, and we'll release the propeller.
Cabin pressure and oxygen mask will drop in front of you.
Unlocked.
Start the flow of oxygen, pull the mask towards you, and
There we go. Prop is now up and spinning.
ahead and and tighten the straps if necessary. And don't worry if the bag doesn't
And we're going to
inflate.
start engine number
Oxygen flows to
1.
the
So
mask
fuel
and
pump is
continues
on.
normally. If you're traveling with
Starter
children,
is
now's the
on.
time to pick your favorite one. But secure your mask and then assist others. Keep your
Adding
mask
fuel.
on until a member of the crew advises you it's safe to remove it. In the unlikely event of a water landing, a life vest is
Pressures
located
are coming
in the pouch
up.
under your seat or between the armrests. When instructed to do so, open the plastic pouch and remove the vest. Flip it over your head. Wrap the straps around your waist and buckle at the front. Pull the strap to tighten. To inflate the vest, pull firmly on the red cord only when exiting the aircraft. If your life vest does not inflate automatically, blow into the mouth.
Alright, looks like we have
Each vest is
two
equipped with a
good
whistle
engine
and light.
starts.
If necessary, your seat
So we're going to pop up
as a
top.
secondary flotation device. Pull the cushion from the seat, slip your arms into the straps, and hug the cushion to your chest.
And let's go
Once
over
again, all
to
devices
here.
must be in airplane mode,
Ground
and
power
charger
can be
devices
disconnected.
Must be turned off and stowed at this time. Please
DC
securely
generators
stowed
are
your personal
now
items.
on.
Make sure your seatbelts are fastened in seat backs and tray
Oxygen
cables are in
is
their full
on.
upright
Everything
position.
else looks
We remind you
good.
that this is a non-smoking flight. Tampering with,
Making
disabling,
sure
or
there's
destroying
no other
the smoke
lights or
detectors
anything
located
on.
in the lavatory
Low
is
power, that'll
prohibited by
change
law.
in a minute.
All of this information and more can be found in the
We
safety
are
card
looking
located
good.
in the seat back in front of you. We suggest reading this and let us know if you have any questions. Thank you
So
for
generators
flying with us, and
are
we hope
all
you enjoy
on.
your flight.
Flaps will set for takeoff. We'll bring them all the way up to make sure they do go all the way up. Select it to 0. There we go. And coming down to first notch, 15-degree flaps. Anti-skid is tested. That's good. And autopilot is fine. We'll set that up when we get further down and ready to go. So we're going to bring the engines up into auto on the condition levers. Alright, that is looking good. Both engines are now running fine. Get rid of that page. Alright, taxi light is on. Wings and logo lights are on. De-icing is... Well, de-icing is not required, but the anti-icing is all off. Bleeds are on. AC wild is no lights. Engine instruments are checked. Pitot heats are all on. And engine start select mode is
Cabin is ready.
off. Cabin is ready to go. We are good there. So we're good to taxi out. Izumo area traffic, Skyways 5556 taxiing from the apron to runway 25 via taxiway 2, backtracking 25. Alright, we're going to go to the right to avoid these guys that are standing out there. Let's do that. A little bit of power. Go, we'll kick her around.
Note the cabin lights will be dimmed for departure and landing. If you require additional lighting, there is a reading light on the panel above you.
There's the thing with the power again. There we are. so there's the line. So we'll just hold there. Landing lights are on, strobe lights are on. I'll come down to our transponder. It is now on. TCAS is auto, that's fine. That was good. And comms are good. I'll come over to ND on both sides. Gonna have a 20 mile, and we'll go from there. So that's good. Power management is set. Speeds are good. FCP database. So we're going to set our altitude now of 17,000 feet. There we go. And we'll be going into nav, and it will be indicated airspeed by the time we get up there. Automatic torque transponder is on runway, and we are good to go. Izumo area traffic, Skyway 5556, backtracking runway 25, Izumo. You can't go to all the way down to idle, or else the engine doesn't provide enough power, which is rather annoying. I should be able to come back. I've tried to fix that, but not having much luck figuring that out. Just have to watch our taxi speed there. So we're halfway through the trip. This is leg 9 of 16. There's a little bit extra power there to get us down to the end. So yeah, so it's coming along nicely. And again, we will be taking a pause on December 1st for a few weeks as we do the Christmas series for 2023. Set auto, release the gust lock. I'll have to do that at the end when we turn around. It's a little bit breezy, but as you saw, the winds are 15, so you can hear them. And we did have that weather come through, and it was looking like we're going to run into it on the way out. So I got the weather radar up on this side here. Was showing a turning circle here on the side. There's the line. There we go. there's the bay right off the end. Alright, get ourselves turned around here. And there we go. Nicely lined up. Panels removed, yeah, I know. On the brakes. Bring the power up slightly just so she comes off of all that. Clear the messages there. We can come up, start the clock, and we are good to go. Oh, shouldn't be rolling. That's because the brakes released to the hydraulics. Anyway, we're going to bring this up to notch. We'll repoint down the runway. Izumo area traffic, Skyway 5556 rolling runway 25 on the Matsu 2 departure to the east, Izumo. Alright, 110 knots, here we come. Brakes released. Airspeed's live. Winds are going to be off of the right. Little bit of back pressure. Ah, tail strike. Gear up. Alright, flying out. The wind is really pushing us here. Sorry, I was just reading what Kevin wrote in chat. Yeah. I'll run that test again and just see what I get, and then we can work out for an hour times whatever, how many hours we got. So even if the numbers aren't quite matching up, we'll know by time what the length of time we have. Alright, so flaps coming up. Start getting that speed to build. There we go. So we're going to go autopilot, nav, and indicated airspeed. Oh, I don't want autopilot disengaged. I want autopilot on. Indicated airspeed. And we're going to turn you down. And then I want to go to nav. There we go. Much better. And let's get the weather radar on. Into climb power. Climb power is set. So positive rate, gear up, flats and slats are retracted, power management set to climb autopilot on. Yaw damper is on, let's say the lights are good. Altimeters, we're going to be climbing up and through, so we're going to set over to standard. And they're set. Seatbelt signs will stay on as we climb up. Ready to OCS 11, and then we'll be our way. There's the airport below. As we're climbing up, there's some clouds. We'll see if they show up on the weather radar. It is showing light rain off in the distance. I want to be at that mode. So we're coming on our course. There's the course. That's the Sea of Japan, and then we got China off in the distance over that way. And on the other side where we're headed is the Pacific Ocean. So local time, it's 5 after 5 in the morning. So, very, very early first flight out of Izumo today. As for traffic, there's a few airplanes around. Just directly north is a Japan Airlines 7879 coming in from Helsinki. Off to the east is a AAR, not sure who that is, 747-400 going to Incheon from Osaka. So there's some traffic out there. Not a lot. As I mentioned, it's 5 in the morning, so can't expect much up in the way of VATSIM at the moment. There's 7,000 feet. Just got to remember not to rush the pullback. Get the nose coming up and then just let her fly off. I don't think these numbers are accurate, so I'll start using the V2 as our minimum rotation. Anyway, we're off to Miho, and then we're going to make a bit more of a harder right turn, following the coast for a little bit along here. And then we'll be turning in. The weather radar is showing that that weather is sitting right over here, so it'll be interesting to see if it shows it at all. We come outside, we can just make out, if I go to about here, some of the clouds over here. Anyway, we turn off the logo lights and the taxi lights and the wing lights. We've got about 1,500 feet to go before we turn off the landing lights. Weather radar is not showing anything. I thought it was working in this aircraft. We'll have to see. We'll make the turn here and see if it shows anything. Yeah, we're heading up to 17,000 feet. We won't be a cruise long. It's a shorter flight. realized I forgot to do something here, so we kill the landing lights as we come through 10,000 feet. I'm going to pop down here. We'll go menu here, and forget to do our weights and our performance. Kind of all over the place today. Our zero fuel weight is estimated to be...
Ladies and gentlemen, we have now passed 10,000 feet. You may now turn on your larger portable electronic devices. This is also a reminder to please keep your seatbelt fastened while you're seated and do not
Just
concentrate
converting
in
to
the galley
kilograms
or
here.
in the laboratory.
Estimated takeoff weight, our zero fuel weight, 17,570. Ooh, that's and fuel on board is 1,408. Reserves is around 382. And for performance, cruise 700. Alternate today is RJBB. Put that in, and we'll be returning at 10,000 feet. There we go. So go over to the flight plan. Actually, you can go to the flight plan. You can go to performance. Although we're still in our... There's no cruise, which is interesting. Or no climb out. Zero top of descent's already shown. No, nothing on the weather radar. It is on. It's showing weather. Playing with the tilt, but it's not really having any effect. Coming up to the edge of the weather, the storm. See some of the clouds around us. I guess it's not accurately depicting it in the sim. It's a shame. Got a good ground speed though, 258 knots. So while we're flying this, we can come down here and finish our setup for our nav. We do have the ILS frequency of 108.9. But what we're going to do is set in our course now. So we're going to come in here, we're going to go into heading mode. First we'll sync the heading. Then we're going to go to heading mode. And we're going to dial over to ILS 1 as our source. And then we're going to dial in 290 on our course. There we go, 290 on our course, and that is all set now. We'll switch back over to nav, FMC, and we'll go back into that mode and we'll get back on our course line here. So that's now set up and ready for when we come in for the approach. coming up on 14,000 feet. That means we have 3,000 to go. Nice wind pushing us today. So we look down here at RJOS, Tokushima. We can see winds are 312, so the winds are a little bit lighter. Still got some clouds in the area. It's 9 degrees, and 1024 is our pressure for when we get there. Platform altitude when we get to that point is 2,000 feet. So we're now starting to veer slightly inwards from the coast. The coast is going to carry on that way. We're heading out this way to Suno, and then we're going to make that turn to the right. That's coming up and head down to the bay again. Coming down there to fly out over the water, make a right turn to intercept the ILS. It's a rather sharp turn. We may end up self-vectoring just to give us a little bit less of an angle on that one. Less than 2,000 feet to go. Very dark. No sign of dawn yet on the horizon. It's 1,500 feet to go. SimBrief tends to give me altitudes that are a couple thousand feet too high for the aircraft, I find. So what I may do is if there's a way to adjust altitudes, cruise level offset.
As this is a shorter flight, we will not be able to offer in-flight service. Please let us know if there's anything we can do to make your flight more enjoyable, and we will assist you.
So if SimBrief always plans you 1,000 feet higher than what FMS recommends, try using an offset of minus 1,000 feet. So I'm going to set a minus of 2,000 in the future, just to see if that adjusts and gives me a little bit better things. I mean, the service ceiling for this is 25,000 feet apparently, but we're not going up that high. I'm not going to slam the throttles to full power, and we don't need to climb all the way up to 20,000 feet if we're only going to be there for 3 minutes. So anyway, we're almost up to 17,000. Sounds like they're not able to do anything in the back because we're going to be descending very shortly. Once we make the turn here at Suno, we're going to enter in our descent platform altitude of 2,000 feet. Feet to go. Just going to start to level out. And we can switch over to cruise power. Feet to go. Altitude capture. Go. We are in cruise. There's our turn. And now we're going to head across that central mountain spine and then head for the bay. You can already see the lights of Osaka ahead. Not sure how much you guys are seeing of the darkness there, but it's all good. Alright, so let's get in here. We're going to set up our 2,000 foot altitude. Feet is set. Again, there's the marker moving. Not sure why it did that. We're going to have to vertical speed control it down. That's fine. We can play with it that way when we're ready. We'll start down at about 60 miles. So we got some nice views at the back for the peoples. The city lights out there, and some of the clouds illuminated by the cities. We're 11 miles to go. We're the only aircraft in or out of Tokushima, or Tokushima today, at least right now. just realized I have the wrong frequency in there. It's 114.9. There we go. That's now showing. There we go. Tokushima area traffic, Skyways 5556 over the town of Seio, leaving flight level 170 for the ILS runway 29er Tokushima. Alright, vertical speed, nose coming down, set 1200 feet per minute. We're going to come back on the power. Try to maintain 200 knots in the descent. Go to 1500. Keep that speed up and get a sort of accurate look at where we're going to come out. I can play with that a little bit as we come down. Seatbelt signs remained on. I'll just give them a reminder in the back that we are heading downwards. Everything's looking good. Speed's about 198. We're going to be roughly down to 2,000 where we want it. We're just about to cross over the water. There's the bay. Dark here. No sunrise on the horizon this morning. See the water over there. So since we don't have weather, come over here and we can do that. Sync up that. So I think we're going to do a slight bit of a outward veer and then swing around for the intercept. Just because it's a really sharp, it's like a 130-degree turn. So we'll probably come over the edge of the island here, then make a turn out and then come around. Gotta watch the elevations on the island. So the speed coming up a little bit. So you bring it back to idle and act like you put the brakes on. we get one man, one idle, it might be able to hold it. See what happens. I find here the terrain is not in accordance with how it is on the charts. These turn points and everything are actually further out, and this airport is more down over here. But as we zoom in, it'll get more accurate. So after Saturday's flight, where we finish our Around the Atlantic tour, Sunday we are back in the 747-800 freighter on the F1 support series, flying out of Mexico and heading down to Sao Paulo, Brazil, which should be a good flight, several hours. So that will be a split stream on Sunday. Miles from the airfield, coming up for 10,000 feet, speed's creeping again. And I want to keep her around that 200. Alright, we're through 10,000. We'll get those on. We'll let them know in the back. Logo lights, wing lights can come on as well. Get the taxi lights on. Signs are all on.
We have begun our final descent into your destination. Flight attendants will be passing through the cabin to collect any trash one final time. Please ensure tray tables are stowed and seats are in a full upright position.
You can see I've come down to 40 miles on the thing. It's pushed from about here to here. On the next one, I'll push it out here in the airport's actually over. Just looking at the maps over about there. So it gets there eventually. Tokushima area traffic skyways 55, 56, 24 miles to the north inbound for the ILS runway 29er Tokushima. Those are my position reports. So there's the gap between the islands. We're going to come right across the shoreline here. Once we get across, we'll turn out to do the turn in for the intercept. Not sure how well this will handle such a sharp turn, and we've only got a 2 mile run from CF29 to our FF29. That is short, so we're going to want to be turned and lined up on that as we come in. Elevations in the area, 2,000 feet for a high point on the island, so just have to watch it as we come down. Should be okay though. I don't think we're getting into the mountains will be off to our left. They're kind of over this way. ILS is picked up, 17 miles out. Watching that speed. So we're going to go into heading mode now. So we're approaching the island. I'm going to bring us down and then out. Probably come around this small island here. .6,000 feet. I'll bring the speed back now to about 190. Change our descent rate to 1,000 feet per minute. There's the town, the city. There's the airport. You see make out the blue lights right there. We're going to be coming in out over the bay here. No, landing lights are on. Everything is on. We're all good there. It's 2,000 to go. Just watching that speed. About 160. And we can bring this down to 10 miles now. And there's the terrain warning starting to come in. They're well off to our side. We'll head for that island. There it is. Nice lights there. 700 feet to go as we come level at 2,000 feet. We'll bring our speed below 185. Drop the first set of flaps, and then we'll bring our speed down to about 160. We're almost ready to turn for the runway. We're almost there. Switch over to our ILS frequency now. Eight miles out. 2,000 feet coming up. Speed's coming down. First notch of flaps going in. We'll keep that speed up. We're going to go do takeoff power. Go. And once we get below 150, we can go second notch of flaps. So 290, we're going to make a turn to intercept. 260 degrees. Distance is 10 miles. Alright, bringing her around. 260. Which we'll aim for the intercept point there. Something like that. There we go. Localizer glide slope are armed. Speed's at 159. We are 11 miles out. Localizer capture. There's the runway. It's 10 miles. Tokushima area traffic skyways 5556 established. A localizer for runway 29, 8.5 miles, Tokushima. Glide slope's coming in. Alright, lights are on. Cabin is notified. Signs are good. Seven and a half miles, glide slope capture. There she goes. Alright, coming back on the speed. Gear down. Six and a half miles. That's through 150. Flaps down. Speed coming back. Alright, flaps full, gear down, 3 green, cabin notified, lights are on, no cautions. Keep an eye on my speed there. Bit of wind turbulence. We are crabbing. It's 108. We're going to try to peg it at 110. It's 26 knots. When we land, we're going to be exiting the runway to the right. North side is civilian, and the terminal's on this end of the airfield, so we'll be exiting and then taxiing back to the water side. Keep it at 110. 19 knots on the wind. Everything is coming around. I'm trying to keep that 110 for landing, or at least over the approach. And got to remember not to flare. We don't want to have another tail strike. Didn't set minimums, but that's okay. We're going to continue. It's 237 feet.
500.
There's 500. Autopilot's off. Forgot to set the barrel. Winds are almost on the nose.
$200. $100. $50. $40. $30. $20. $10.
All right, welcome to Tokushima. Let's get up to the exit.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have reached our destination. The local time is 5:47 a.m. and it's currently about 8 degrees Celsius. You can now use your mobile devices. Please remain.
It's easier to see from outside. Looks like N3. There we go. Alright, let's get the flaps up. Landing lights off, taxi lights on, strobes can come off. And again, we're going to be taxiing to the right, heading over to the terminal. Standby, and weather radar is off. Just make good those colorful trees there. Looking really nice. Keep that power up. Again, this is a joint airfield. On the south side is the military apron. We're on the north side, and we're heading down to the civil apron, which is, see the wall. You can see the lights in the windows. It's rather dark out here. Probably not seeing it on the YouTube, but I can see the faint redness in the sky. So it looks like the sun is just getting ready to come up. Alright, and not sure if we got gates here or what's the story, but we're going to go on the first spot, think that is a stand instead of an apron. Terminal. We will see. It's parking spot number 1. Oh, there goes the lights again. There we are. This is the terminal 1. There's the other ones with the aprons or the things, but maybe a little bit of power there. There we go. And we will just park her right here. That looks good. Alright, get her parked. Drop the other engine down to FTR. We'll come over to the aircraft side, get the ground power and chocks hooked up. There we go. They are in. So we'll get the taxi light off. Wing lights can come off. Everything else is good. Engines are nice and cooled down. So engine 2, engine 1 coming off. Once this is below 10, there we go. The beacon can come off. External power is available. Oh, it was on already, I think. Oh yeah, I was on. There we go. Dome light can come on. Seatbelt signs. No devices are off. Fuel pumps will come off. Oxygen and flight directors. We are good there. Open doors. And we can begin. I'm already at my parking spot, so don't you worry about it. There we are anyway. Nice and dark, hint of red on the horizon as the sun's just coming up. Thank you for coming along. We'll be back tomorrow as we are flying around in South Africa, winding up that series there. We will see you all on the next one. Thanks for coming along. Take care. Bye for now.